We have an absolutely loaded show coming your way on today's 49ers Report, and I'm ready to talk some Niners following the weekend. Coming up, according to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, Trent Williams wants a new contract, and also from Fowler, Aiyuk contract talks with the Niners, not intensifying. Stay tuned for all of that, but first, have you subscribed to the channel? If you haven't, make sure you do so right now for daily and year-round coverage on the Niners, and this is everything that we bring to the table and more. Daily coverage of this football team. We hit everything from news, rumors, and analysis. When breaking news happens, we're on it, and we dissect it. We do live shows, watch parties during the season, and we have a massive family here on the 49ers Report. That's why we're the largest independently run channel that covers the Niners on a daily basis, as we are at 133,000 subscribers. So hit that sub button, and with that, let's talk some San Francisco 49ers football right now. All right, let's get it underway. This is the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. Hope all of you out there had a fantastic weekend and your weeks are off to a great start. According to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, there are whispers that 49ers left tackle Trent Williams wants a new contract. And I already know that the immediate reaction from the fan base is this: it just doesn't stop with this football team. The 49ers can't pay everybody, yet everybody is trying to get a bag. They're not concentrated on trying to win a Super Bowl right now. Instead, all of these marquee players are worried about getting paid. And with Brock Purdy's deal looming, the outlook is bleak. And I get why a lot of people would have that thought. But let me calm you down a little bit. By extending Christian McCaffrey and the 49ers giving him guaranteed money as part of that deal, the 49ers actually created cap space. San Francisco can do the same thing with Trent Williams, even though given the age, given the wear and tear on the tires, there's a little bit more risk here. Cap savings with the Williams extension. Let's get to the nitty-gritty details here. Per over the cap, if the 49ers were to give Trent Williams a contract extension, the Niners would save $15.1 million in 2024, $17 million in 2025, and $24.8 million in 2026. Then in 2027, even though Trent Williams will be on the cusp of being 40 years old, and right now he's not playing like a guy who is 35 years old, the 49ers would save an astounding $42.2 million. So while there is that aforementioned risk of paying an older player top dollar, in turn, the 49ers actually would be able to create a lot of cap space. Another way to create some money, it's the guaranteed money. The 49ers did that with the likes of Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel in the past. They just did it last week around this time with Christian McCaffrey. And the Niners have shown that with John Lynch in this front office, Parag running the books, that they can get creative with the cap. By paying Trent Williams, it does not mean that you cannot afford a new deal for Brock Purdy, which could come in at a going rate of $40 to $50 million per year if he performs in 2024 like he did in 2023. It does not mean that you cannot afford Brandon Aiyuk. You can add dummy years. You can add guaranteed money. You can backload some of these deals. You can pull off financial gymnastics. And keep in mind that the NFL has a stranglehold on America. It is a game that is still growing in every pocket of America, also worldwide. The NFL is a cash cow. And because of that, the salary cap continues to increase and go up. And with that, contracts for players go up as well. But what does it mean? That all 32 teams in the NFL have more money to spend. So don't start panicking right from the jump when you see the report from Jeremy Fowler that Trent Williams is looking for a new deal. Now, there is a legitimate question here. Is a 35-year-old left tackle worth paying when you're paying premium dollars to a handful of other players on this uber-talented Niners roster? Right now, Trent Williams is still the best left tackle in the game, still playing at an elite level, an absolute game changer as a pass blocker, as a run blocker, and one of the more dominant players in football. And at the offensive tackle position, history shows you can be elite in your late 30s, even in your early 40s. It's been done on numerous occasions with special players before. And you look at what Trent Williams did in 2023, everything checked out very, very nicely. Overall Pro Football Focus grade of 89.9, pass blocking grade of 79.8, run blocking grade of 90.1, 9 penalties, 0 sacks of Brock Purdy allowed, 3 hits allowed, 18 pressures surrendered, and of course all of his snaps coming at left tackle, 809 of them. Now, the 49ers pulled off a highway robbery of a trade with Washington a few years ago going into the 2020 season when they traded for Trent Williams. And the production that they have gotten from him every single year has been truly elite. What you will notice in looking at these Pro Football Focus numbers, overall grade, pass blocking grade, run blocking grade, that's how we're going to split them up here. The numbers have gone down a little bit in each of the last 3 seasons as far as the overall Pro Football Focus grade, 97.8 in 2021 to 93 to 89.9. The run blocking grade, it's certainly gone down from 2022 to 2023 from 87.6 to 79.8. But the run blocking grade here continues to be absolutely terrific. There has been a decline in the run blocking grade, just like the pass blocking grade and the overall grade. But still, 97.9, nearly perfect. What a season 2021 was. 92.9, exceptional. 90.1, you are a 1%er among all offensive tackles. So again, while there is a little bit of a decline here, this is still elite play from Trent Williams. And who's to say, with the way that he's moving, with the physicality and the power that he has, with how much time he devotes to staying in shape and taking care of his body, that elite play like this cannot continue. The problem that you could have is if Trent Williams demands a new contract, there's that little bit of decline in play, but then there's the increase in pay. Then you might not be paying for what you think is worthy of your investment. We do keep having the conversation, though, with this particular organization. The 49ers need to invest in the offensive line, and they continue to really ignore that outside of paying Trent Williams and trading for him. They did take Aaron Banks in the second round. Everybody else, though, is kind of a journeyman. So will the 49ers take that risk by paying an older Trent Williams, knowing that there are injury concerns as you get older, and he's had some with the 49ers. There are decline in play and production concerns as well. If I'm John Lynch, I'm Kyle Shanahan, I'd sit Trent Williams down and I'd ask him, after the 2022 season, you lightly thought about maybe retiring. But now you're saying that God has given you this gift of playing football. You believe you have to maximize that. Can you commit to keep playing? And if you commit to keep playing with the same level of dedication and you still love the game of football, because we love you inside our facility and on the field because you're an ultimate team leader, team captain, you play the game the right way, and you carry yourself the right way. A pleasure to interview him, by the way, in Las Vegas for the Super Bowl. Talking ball with a player like Trent Williams, an incredible experience. It's eye-opening because offensive linemen are so well-spoken and they see the game in a special way. All that being said, it'd be hard not to pay Trent Williams. But then you take a look at the highest paid offensive tackles per year. Trent Williams right now is 4th. From his standpoint, and Christian McCaffrey probably had the same argument, hold on. I'm the 4th highest paid offensive tackle in the game, yet I'm the best left tackle in football. I think that I should be making a little bit more money. I'd be willing to pay Trent Williams a little bit more money, but is he going to overtake Penei Sewell, who does play right tackle, but is making $28 million per year, but is the much younger player? That's kind of the issue that you run into. How much more does Trent Williams want? He wants a new deal, and I can see why. He thinks he's the best offensive tackle in the game, and he's the 4th highest paid offensive tackle in football. But how high does he want to go, and how high are the Niners willing to go? Here's what Jeremy Fowler had to say about all of this. You see Trent Williams there at left tackle. He's got 3 years left on his contract, but there are whispers around some in the industry that he might want a new deal eventually. He's got 3 years left. He's due $22 million in cash, but he's the best left tackle in the game still. 35 years old, but that could be a bit of an issue, but he's playing at a high level. The 49ers might have to address that eventually. The other issue with what we just talked about, there's still years remaining on his deal, but you could decide to restructure a little bit. You could decide to give him guaranteed money like you kind of did with Christian McCaffrey to appease him, make him happy, and to have him to continue to block the blind side of Brock Purdy. This is today's poll question. Let's hear from everybody down in the comment section below. Should the Niners give Trent Williams a new deal? P for pay him, R for it's way too risky. You sound off and let me know. Coming up next here on the show, we have a new Brandon Aiyuk update. The asking price has been revealed from Mike Silver, who says that the 49ers are willing to give him $26 million per year. Aiyuk's not budging. First, last week, we told you about the deal on the Niners Father's Day shirts. They went off the shelves extremely quickly. You can't even get shirts any longer unless they're small. And there aren't a lot of small dads out there. Multiple meanings. This combo on sale right now for just $45. Chatsports.com/49 combo. You get both shirts, limited time only, $45. You have the scarlet red and the black, so that you can have a couple of different looks in supporting and rocking your Niners gear. Chatsports.com/49 combo. We'll attach that link to the pinned comment of today's video. It's also hanging out in the show notes of today's 49ers report. As for the latest on Brandon Aiyuk, according to Jeremy Fowler, Aiyuk's talks with San Francisco have not intensified. And according to Mike Silver of the San Francisco Chronicle, the 49ers are willing to give Brandon Aiyuk $26 million per year. That is more than Deebo Samuel, so Aiyuk could be the highest paid player on the 49ers at wide receiver. It's not to the likes of Amon-Ra St. Brown or Jalen Waddle. It is above Devontae Smith. So it seems as though the difference right now is about $2 million. Which side will budge? This is classic negotiating tactics right here. And then there was this from Jeremy Fowler over the weekend, which is obviously important to hit as well. So Brandon Aiyuk's the big one, Fowler said. We know what the wide receiver market is right now. It's looking at probably $30 million and above, and Aiyuk is considered a top 10 wide receiver now at this point by most in the league. Both sides have had negotiations, but it hasn't really graduated to something where it's going to get done and it's intensified. So the translation there, it hasn't intensified. So they got the next 6 weeks over the summer before training camp to try to get it done, or he might not show up based on him not showing up to minicamp as a precedent. He already held out from mandatory minicamp. He was not at OTAs. Will he hold out for training camp? We will certainly see if a deal is not struck by them. We talked about this last week. TJ Houshmandzadeh works with Aiyuk during the offseason, and he even said it. Aiyuk just wants the Amon-Ra St. Brown deal, which is about $28 million per year, good guaranteed money. And Houshmandzadeh said if Aiyuk were to get that, he would have reported to the facility last week. It seems as though the Niners' price tag here, $25 to $27 million, from how I see it, Mike Silver is saying $26 million, but always keep in mind the Niners' extension timeline. Even though other teams get ahead of the game and they pay some of their players to get ahead of the process a little bit earlier to not let the market dictate the price tag, which in turn is smart because now the Niners have had to risk waiting to pay Aiyuk and the price tag has gone up. Other teams do it a little bit earlier. But look, this is the way that the Niners do business for whatever reason here. And they're going to play hardball with Aiyuk up until a deal is hit. And if it's not hit, there's still 1 year remaining left on Aiyuk's deal. Aiyuk, Trent Williams, not the only players who might be getting paid. There's also George Kittle. Want to pass along this update from Fowler as well. Then you've got George Kittle. Fowler said, this is not a pressing need, but I was told this is a player who might need a new contract eventually or this offseason because he's got 2 years left had he not had the core muscle surgery. So he is technically coming off of an injury, but he was the only tight end who had 1,000 yards receiving last year. Still a big part of what they do, so they might have to pay him. A lot of major decisions coming. And that's why we talk about on this show, are the 49ers making major moves? Are the 49ers making big signings? Are they handing out big contract extensions? I think a gift in broadcasting having foresight. We have foresight on this show. I'm not saying that in a cocky way. I'm just saying that because the resume speaks for itself. We talk about these things well before they happen to inform the audience. And that's what we do. Furthermore, to inform the audience, look, when you have a team full of elite players like the Niners do, you're going to have to pay up or make hard, difficult, emotional decisions like the Niners had to do this offseason with Arik Armstead. That is also why there's so much pressure on this existing roster and this coaching staff, because they look around at the locker room. They see multiple future Hall of Famers, all pros, Pro Bowlers, to win the damn thing because this team is loaded and you cannot squander this opportunity. Be sure to give me a follow on X. Give me a follow on Instagram at Chase_Senior. Approaching 13,000 followers on X, 30,000 on Instagram. Hope all of you had a great weekend. You enjoyed today's show. Don't forget to subscribe and say what's up on the socials.